Hi, this is Karen.
And this is Tiffany from Ready Set Crop. And we're ready to do another Ready Set Crop along with you.
Oh, I am so ready. So today I grabbed a sketch from the June 2025, what year is it? Virtual crop. So it's a double page spread,
Mhm.
which I will be doing a double page spread. You will I don't know, maybe you'll do a one page spread out of it, but
I'm doing a double page spread, but this one is tricky. You are making me go out of my comfort zone for this
this
one, but
is this isn't out of your comfort zone a little bit. Let me see if I can pull that a little closer. So this is sketch number 3 from the June 2025 virtual crop. So it should be in the blog, Creative Memories blog, if you want to do this one. I think I think this is going to be fun, tricky with sizes. I think you need to use smaller photos, which probably works for you.
Mhm.
But you can use a lot of your punches and tools with this one. My suggestion would probably be to use the type of either border maker cartridge or border punch that stays on the page, kind of the topper style. But honestly, you can do whatever you want. You can make it work because I know you will be very original with this.
Yes,
So why don't we get started?
sounds good.
All right, here we go. What are you using for papers?
So I am using the new summer collection, the Relax into Summer, and I have photos from Mother's Day. So I'm using mostly the green and yellow, but my son's wearing a pink shirt. There's a pink orchid at the table, and my mom's wearing a pink shirt. So then I'm gonna bring in this kind of crazy red and pink checkered to go with that.
I'm sure it's going to work just fine. I bet it's going to be
Yeah.
great. It looks like you have a border maker cartridge there.
I do. This is an oldie, but one of my favorites. It's like a double rainbow.
I don't remember
Um,
what it's called either, but I
I
have
don't
that
either,
one as
but
well.
yeah, so I always just call it double rainbow. So
Yeah.
I'm going to be using that.
And you're, as usual, working in your smaller album, whereas I will be working in a 12 by 12. I do not
Yeah.
have photos, but I do know what I'm using this layout for. One of my daughters bought me one of those Bird Buddy bird cam things,
Fun.
bird feeder with a camera in it. And I've been saving all of the funny pictures where the are staring straight at the camera. So I've been saving those. So I'm going to do a layout of all these funny bird pictures that I have. So hence I don't remember what these papers are called, but the bird type collection that I'm going I think it was like Right On or something like that. I don't
Oh,
remember.
yeah, that's right. Yep.
Yeah, so I'm going to use that. I'm going to use the Home Sweet Home Border Maker cartridge and possibly add the Songbirds. I haven't really decided. So I'm just going to wing it
Fun.
and we'll see
Great.
how it goes. So let's go.
All right.
All
Okay.
right, let's see if we can do this in a half hour or so. We shall see.
I like to think of it as like 20 minutes or less, 30 minutes or less when I'm chatting and scrapping with other people. Um, but I like to stick to that for me. It keeps me from overthinking too much
Yeah. It's a
and
danger
just,
zone.
yeah.
Once you start spending way too much time in a layout, it really does become a danger zone where you've just
Yeah.
spent too much time, and you're overthinking and you should just get it done.
Yeah, and that's usually the time when I start thinking, let me add one more thing and one more thing and one more
And one
thing.
more
And then
thing.
it's like crazy
Absolutely.
time.
Yep. Yep. I feel you.
So
I
I am starting with a base for this because I don't work in the album. Um, so I'm just making a 10 by 6 3/4 base out of white scrap paper. And then I'm going to build on top of that.
once.
My dream scenario would be if Creative Memories came out with top loading pages for the Happy Album,
Yes.
because that's how I work.
Well, I mean, I guarantee they would do that. It would just depend on the popularity of that album.
Yeah,
And if I do think it has become quite a popular album. Is it popular enough?
right.
I
Yep.
don't know. Now,
Yeah,
you
so if you're watching this,
Yep.
try a Happy Album. It's so much fun.
Oh, yeah. I have many of them. I love them. I'm actually am working in one right now for my nephew's high school graduation party.
Oh,
I'm
nice. Yeah, it's great for themed things
and
like
I'm
that,
using the
vacation
exact same one
albums.
that you have. I'm using the 2025 one because that's his graduation year.
Oh, that's great.
So yeah, let's see. Let me look at this. 3.5 by 3.5 by 5.5. I'm gonna do 4 by 5.5. Oh, nope. I'm gonna do 3.5 by 6. I'm gonna cut this and I'm gonna do the other side actually. I'm going to do the border maker cartridge on both sides of this. Again, Tiffany and I don't tend to research things that we pick very much. I don't do a practice run just to see if I've got it because I don't really feel like I'm teaching the layout to you. I think we're more teaching you to do your own thing and use these layouts and sketches as a jumping off point. So what's the point in me practicing it? I think you should watch us make mistakes and pivot.
Yeah.
I think that's better.
And we both like to kind of wing it, you know.
Hmm.
I mean, we're starting with a sketch anyway, so that kind of winging it has already been cut out of the equation.
Right. Right. We're not starting from ground zero.
Right.
We have a jumping off point. And so it's not as scary. It makes it less scary. But that being said, you know what? That being said, I need to change my map. Hold on. Sorry. Squirrel. Um, so yeah, it just kind of gives you a jumping off point. So it's not so you don't feel like you don't have a parachute.
Right.
Let's see, what size is this? Okay, so I'm gonna cut this out just under 6. All right, this in half now, and yeah, I think that'll work. That will work for now. And then cut these at 3.5. Because the photos I'm going to be putting on this top part are going to be 3 by 4 photos.
Okay.
I'll put 2 photos on a 4 by 6, have it printed out or print it
Yeah.
out myself. And so it'll be like a half of a 4 by 6, which is a 4 by 3.
That is mostly how I print most of my photos. Like
Mhm.
this one here, it's two 3x4s printed on one 4x6 mat. I sent these to Walgreens because I'm out of paper for my selfie. But if you print at home, you could do it this way, or you send it to your local photo place. But
Yeah.
then you're getting two photos on the 4x6. For me, that works really well because in the happy album I have less space. So printing a lot of 4x6s doesn't work well.
Yeah, and I do it even in a 12 by 12 because I take a lot of photos
Hmm.
and I kind of like having them that way. So it's nice.
Yeah.
Let's see. No, I picked the home by did I say a home sweet home because I thought the little houses looked like bird houses. So I
Oh,
thought
it
there you
is
go.
perfect. I love it.
Yeah.
I love that home sweet home border punch.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's pretty great. I use it a lot actually.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna do this for the bottom and this for the top. So I'm gonna weld these 2 pieces together.
Yeah,
And
which is what I'm doing now with the lemon paper. So one side of this paper was lemons, the other side was this green floral. So
yeah,
I cut it at 6 inches and 4 inches, and then I'm flipped one side so that I get the both sides of the paper. So similar what you're doing with the red and the birds.
exactly. Let's see. So I think I'm going to that'll go here. And
And I'm leaving a little bit of the white border around it.
Yeah.
just for interest.
So, I mean, this is actually going much quicker than I thought.
Hmm. Yeah, for
So,
my gosh, for a two-page layout.
yeah, this is actually pretty easy. So I do want to weld these two pieces of paper from the front though. So I'll probably use a strip, or I may use, that may be what I use the songbirds for.
Oh, yeah,
Maybe a
okay.
piece of,
And what do you mean by weld?
when by welding, I mean, see these two, I have a 6 by 12 and this is a 6 by 12. So if hold these together, it's a 12 by 12 page. So I need to stick them to each other. You
Okay,
can do
yep.
that by either taking here's a 1/2 inch by 12 inch strip. You could go from the front or the back. So if I wanted to put, I may just put the white, actually, that may work. It will just weld the two pieces together. So it holds
Yeah.
it together. So you can pick it up and put it in a scrapbook. If I was working directly on a page, I wouldn't need to weld it. But I also
Right.
tend to, when you're putting two raw edges together, I like to cover it with something.
Yeah, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm adding some tearing tape, and then I have this crazy ribbon that I've had forever. And I'm like, I am trying to this year challenging myself to use things that have been in my stash forever. Why am I holding on to it? So I just thought this would be really fun as that kind of spot to cover up the seam.
White's a different color, so I'm cutting two new ones. Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
But yeah, it's always nice to put something, whether it's a punch or
Exactly, because
something to cover up that.
you need to cover the raw edge.
Yeah. Yeah, and it finishes it nicely.
I mean, it's probably not as important to everybody, but it is
Yeah.
to me, so. It's important to me.
And I like to add ribbon and twine and all that kind of stuff to my page, so it gives me a spot to do that.
Exactly. All right, so I'm going to make sure this is right up to where it should be. I'm going to hold it right on the 6 inch. So I do make this weld even. So the weld piece that I put on is put on evenly and not crooked. It's a 1/2 inch piece that I'm using. So I'll hold it right there. Go across. Oh, look at that's a short piece. See?
Oh yeah.
I think that piece of paper that I just cut is short. That's not gonna work. I need a new one. Hold on. All right, let's try this again, shall we? We'll just grab the short piece of paper. See, that is better. Unless my designer paper is long. I don't think so, though. That's not usually the case. Look at it. This is still short.
Huh, what paper is that?
The cardstock, I don't know. It was just in my.
Oh,
Let me see. That is correct. Look at how it's short. What is happening to me? Somebody help me. All right, hold on. I'm going to use something else. I'm just going to use this designer paper instead
yeah.
because it's the same size and figure out what's happening with my cardstock that I'm just randomly pulling out of my stash. All right, let's try this again. This has like a little grid, so that's kind of cool. But I could use, it's actually other side of the brown that I'm already using, so I could use the brown and then, but it'll kind of cover over it. So it might, I don't think I'm gonna like it as much when it does that. Yeah, I think I'll use that. All right. Woo, let's try this again.
Got it?
Yeah, I might still weld the back of it because this is designer paper and I don't think it'll be as strong.
Yeah.
So I can use that short piece on the back of it. I just don't want the look of a short piece if I'm only doing the front of it.
Hmm.
Oh, look at that. I did the brown. Happy accidents. All right. Let's see. Do this side. But I still think I'm going to use the songbirds in some capacity
Hmm.
to help weld it. So that may work fine. Mm, there we go. So if I do my songbirds, should I bring in another color? I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to glue these down first and then kind of figure out what I want to do. All righty.
That's come along pretty quickly.
It really is. I guess it's not as hard as we thought. I think the key is knowing what you're going to do for photos, maybe.
Yeah, I was a little overwhelmed with the number of photos. Like it just seemed like a lot to me. But I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, but
you don't
you're
have,
used doing it on a smaller book, so it's not going to be as many photos,
right.
you know? So I think we're handling the stress quite nicely.
Yes. But it's a good example of don't let a sketch intimidate you, because it's just
Well,
you still
yeah.
get to make it your own.
Yeah, I think for me the hardest part was thinking, ooh, what photos so I can choose the right border
Yeah.
cartridge to use on the top. It's
Mhm.
like that was the stress that I had. And once I conquered that and thought about, okay, I'm going to do this. And it was kind of like I looked at what I had and knew what photos I want to use for it. And that kind of helped me through.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we managed. We managed. All right, so that's done. And I do think maybe, let me see, because it does have these weird, let me look at this again. It has places for photos at the bottom, which I'm not going to get overly weird about, I don't think. I think I'm going to, yeah, I'm just going to punch some songbirds and just see how it goes.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna do it on top of this paper here. Let's see what I can come up with. I love birds and I love punches that have a nature theme,
Yep.
birds or trees or leaves or because you can use them for so many things
Hmm.
that I love it. Do one more. I'm gonna do two of these. Let's see how that comes out. I always seem to be able to pull out a punch like this and make it work. Because I don't think it's too literal. I mean, you can have a
No,
tree or a leaf on anything. It doesn't mean you have to be in the woods in your pictures.
right.
You know? Wait, so I've got this one. Actually, I kind of like that. The white
Oh, I
on the
like that in the
bottom.
white. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna put that on the bottom. I'm gonna put a couple mats for photos here, or I just may not worry about it. I'll wait till I get my photos and decide what I'm gonna do. If I'm even gonna put more mats, so I may just put the photos down. I don't think I need to do that. I think I don't have embellishments for this that I pulled
Hmm.
out, so this is pretty much it. So I may, when I do a title, it may be like bird's eye view.
Oh, that's cute.
I'm gonna
I
stick these
like that.
down.
That's perfect.
Yeah, but until I have my photos printed out, which I know I'm going to do, what I'm doing. See, and this was short and it doesn't matter for this. So I'm good. Should I do it the opposite? Should I have them facing? What do you do when you have something that clearly they're facing
Hmm.
one way? Do you then have them
Yeah.
face each other or do you have them all running the same way?
For that, I kind of think it looks cute having them face each other.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Just wondering what you would do. It's always something I think about, like,
Hmm.
there we go. All right, well, I'm done for now.
Yeah, I'm just gonna spell out our names to put here, and
Yeah,
then I'll do my journaling.
absolutely.
But that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So,
think I'm going to, let's see, I'm gonna cut just a couple of 3x4s just to show you what it would look like on the. All right. So a 3x4 photo is gonna look like this. This is how they wanted it to look in the
oh, that looks
frame.
nice.
So what
Yep.
it's doing, it's giving you place to journal underneath. So you could take another small little piece of cardstock and put it here and journal on it if you wanted, or you could put a decoration. I could put more songbirds at the bottom if I wanted to, but that's basically how they wanted it to look.
Hmm.
Oh, there it is. Let me just. This is kind of a fun one. It's funner than
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be. I was a little like, oh, this one's going to be tedious.
Yeah, I was worried that we'd be working on this for a couple of hours.
And we're not. It's actually,
Yeah.
look at you. Yours is like complete.
Yeah.
Mine's
Yeah,
still
and then
going to have photos, but
I'm gonna use the write-on journal strips to just do my little journaling
uh-huh.
there.
Yeah.
And then that's gonna be it. I
Yeah.
mean, this is
Slide yours
really,
down a little bit so
oh
we can
yeah.
see the whole thing. There you go.
So a lot less photos than the sketch called for, but
Yeah.
I'm really happy with it. This is really fun and
Well, and if you do the big sketch, it shows you that you can fit like 10 photos on it. So
right.
it's
Yeah.
actually really good.
Hmm.
It's a great sketch. So that was a lot of fun.
That was fun. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel very accomplished with that one because that went much quicker than I thought.
Yeah, and I'm so happy to have a nice Mother's Day layout in my album and something very different than how I normally scrapbook. So I
Yeah.
really like that
And for
too.
me, I've been holding on to this paper because I really like it, but never
Hmm.
had anything to use with it. So I'm
I
kind of
can't wait
excited
to
to
see
print
those.
out the photos.
I can't wait to see those bird photos.
Oh, that'll be fun to do. Maybe in a later
Yeah,
video, I'll show you guys what it ends up looking like. So
right.
we'll have a little catch-up session.
Yes.
All right. Well, great. Have a great day, Tiffany, and I will see you next time we get together.
Okay, see you soon.
Bye.